Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to. Okay, seriously though. Hey friends, Jacqueline here. And my birthday is coming up this week. And to celebrate it this week, we will be sharing a list of my favorite things on social. So make sure to follow us over at The Product Boss on Instagram. You can also follow The Product Boss podcast on TikTok. Yes, the kids are on TikTok these days. And my favorite things are going to range from things like books I'm reading to my go-to nighttime routine, how I manage meals, being a busy business owner and mom, and so much more. And we want to give you something in return. So for everyone who opts in to my favorite things, right? So we're going to give a really easy way that you're going to get a download of my favorite things. You'll be entered into a giveaway to win a Product Boss branded gift box. So if you want a gift from me for my birthday for you, head to theproductboss.com/favorite things to be entered in the running to win. Also, little secret between you and me, we'll also be opening the doors to Multi-Stream Machine at the end of the week for a super short time. Because a lot of you send us messages on the daily, when are doors opening again? When are doors opening again? So instead of waiting until the fall, which is when the official doors are going to open again, we are going to open them up for a couple days this weekend to celebrate you growing your business, right? So at the end of the week, and if you purchase it, you'll also be entered into the running to get a refund on Multi-Stream Machine and get the course 100% free. Okay, let me say that again. When you sign up, and if you decide to jump into Multi-Stream Machine when we have these quick open and closed doors for my birthday this weekend, we're actually going to be picking one lucky winner, one student who has decided to sign up, take the leap, and join Multi-Stream Machine. We will actually be picking a name out of a virtual hat and then giving you a full refund on Multi-Stream Machine where you get to keep it forever and get all of the amazing trainings that are inside of it that are really going to catapult your business forward. If you sign up this weekend, you may get it for free. All right. So we'll see you over there. Head to theproductboss.com/favorite things. Happy birthday to me and happy birthday to you.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey, everyone. I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Mina Kunlo-Sitep, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
In today's episode, we are re-airing one of our favorite episodes. If you're new here, then welcome. We're so excited for you to listen to one of our most popular episodes ever for the first time. And if you're a longtime listener, we still encourage you to tune in and listen. You never know what new lessons and aha moments may stand out to you now that didn't before. All right, let's dive in. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my inspiring co-host, Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Hey, Mina.
Hey, Jacqueline.
So today we are really excited to have this really special episode for you guys. We get a ton of questions from our community and from our students on how to get more email subscribers for a product-based business. And today we are going to dig into some tips and tricks to build your list and get more email subscribers.
Yes, your wishes have been granted. Jacqueline has been hounding me like a crazy person to do this episode. Since we do have a really popular episode, it's called The 3 Emails Every Product-Based Business Should Have. And I'll link that in the show notes. But since then, she's been really wanting to talk about emails. So you guys are in luck today.
Right. But first, I want to thank all of you that have left us a review on iTunes. This helps our podcast become more discoverable and reach more people that need help and will benefit from the information that we share here. So thank you to all of you that have left a review. And I'd also like to thank Libra Style TV, who left this incredible review. It says, I sit at my desk 5 days a week, binging you ladies all day. You are my music. I always have my notebook and planner open and ready to take notes. The message and the guests that you have give me so much motivation and inspiration. I know without a doubt that when I get to walk out of that building for good, a huge part of it will be attributed to everything that I have learned through you ladies. Thank you. Well, thank you, Libra Style TV.
What a beautiful and incredible review for us. I mean, I can't even imagine that we would have that much impact. And it just makes us feel so humbled and honored and all the things. So thank you for leaving that for us.
And if you're listening to this episode, Libra Style TV, go ahead and DM us at The Product Boss. We would love to hear from you and thank you on there. And for any of you that have been thinking of leaving us a positive review, it will really help us and let us know who you are. We'd love to shout you out if you want to hear your name on the podcast. But past that, let's dive into how to get more email subscribers for your product-based business.
Yeah. Like I said, Jacqueline's been hounding me to talk about this topic. She's been loving chatting about email, talking about email, different types of emails, segmenting email. I mean,
But you know
like
why? Do you
because
know
people have
why?
been asking us. I have no idea.
Well, people have been asking us, so we also created this really special product in a year of content. So we have a yearofcontent.com and where we've helped everybody come up with content to send to their email list or to use on social media. So if you haven't downloaded that already, head over to a yearofcontent.com. But that's because I've been leaning so hard into emails and the types of emails that product-based businesses need. And as much as I've been kind of sharing that with our students and sharing that with our community, the other follow-up to that is like, that's all well and good, Jacqueline, but what if I don't have a list? Or what if my list is small? Or how do I grow my list? And that's why I've been hounding you.
Yes. And you know what? For good reason, because everybody should be thinking about their email list. It's something that's so, like we get that question all the time, like what should be my key performance indicators or my KPIs? Your email should be in there because it's so important as small businesses that we, in every checklist that we do, whether it be marketing or public relations or getting onto other people's platforms, we should, that little checklist of how do I get people's emails should be considered in every single one of those actions.
Absolutely. So if you guys are ready to dive in, let's talk about those tips and places in which you can build your email subscribers. So first place, which is usually sometimes the easiest for some of you, is in person, right?
Yeah, super important because we get that question all the time from people who are doing trade shows or going to local farmers markets or gift marts. What should I be doing to prepare? And this is a big one. Figure out how you're going to capture emails.
Now, don't get caught up in the way you're going to capture the emails, right? We had one of our students tell us that she used like a text me to join my email list. Not a ton of people did it. It was too many action steps. So our number one advice to her was like, take a pen, some paper, maybe pre-printed with join our email list, with like a place for name and email, and hand them that pen and a clipboard or whatever they do and have them just write down their email list, our email addresses. I've even had pushback from one of my clients that are like, well, what if I can't read their email address? That's okay. Like, it's easier for people to go pen to paper than to even sometimes type on an iPad or text you. Let's just make it super simple for them.
Yeah, people don't love the iPad because it's just like when you go to the doctor's office and you're like, oh, this is going to take 15 minutes,
I really feel that way too.
It is true. I just had to do this the other day. And even when I had to do a spa check-in, I was like, oh, this iPad again, So it is where it's just easier. I would say that if you have trouble reading their email, you can totally just ask them, right? Or say, I have it written, please print clearly or something.
Right. So several of our masterminders right now and students in our groups have asked this question. I mean, it really has come up a lot right now, maybe because we're in show season, but they've said, how do I prep for this trade show? And whether the trade show is business to business or business to consumer, one of the things we say is we'll have a way to capture their email addresses. And so one of our students who's going to another trade show, who had an amazing trade show with some of this advice we'd given her, said, well, what should I do different? And we're like, it was such a good trade show for you. Rinse, wash, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat.
Both.
Whatever way it is, do the same thing. Don't feel like you guys, when you go to these trade shows or whatever, that you have to change things up. So, one of the things was somebody was like, well, I got 25 email subscribers. Well, that sounds like a lot or a little to some people. If some of you pay for ads, and 25 email subscribers is a lot of money. You could be paying $5 to $25 a person if you're paying for ads to get them on your list. Now, or the flip side of that is you have a few hundred people. If you get 25 new people, new subscribers that have actually physically seen your product and met you, they're way warmer of an audience to market to than random people off the internet that have found you and opted in.
Right, because they've already met you. We've had people who do like farmers markets, and they get up to like 100 people, which is a lot. Because farmers markets booths aren't crazy expensive like these industry booths. The industry and the like specific to business or business to consumer. Those giant ones that are like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $10,000, and they're still walking away with emails. So it's a great way to, like, if you could just do it while you're there, it's a great way to just get those leads. I mean, that's worth every penny if you just walk away with no sales, but you get emails.
100%. Because for all of you that are just starting out, or maybe you're selling on a platform where you've never needed to have an email list, 25 people that you don't know are 25 more people for you to be in front of. And so that number, whatever it is, again, like Nina said, the value of just meeting these people and capturing their email list or emails onto your email list is crucial. Now, the next question you might ask is, well, what carrot do I dangle to get them to sign up? And there's a lot of different ways that you can get people to sign up in person. So,
Right.
one of the ways is that you can have a giveaway. Like you can have a special giveaway that you have there. Um, there's examples of people that have given away something that's really cool, like an electronic or something big that has nothing to do with their product or their business. And so people will opt in just because they want to win it, right? You're like, win a flat screen TV if you give me your email address while I'm selling you kids' clothes. They're like every one of their moms going to try and win the flat screen TV. Now, the vice versa is if you're like, win this like gift basket of a whole bunch of our products in your kid's size, and like you have it all rolled up and displayed. If you give us your email address, that's one way. Or enter to win $100 gift card to our website to use if you give us your email address. That's more relevant, right? Because if they like your product, they're going to give you their email address and they're already sort of warmed up, or they're your right customer.
Yeah, I mean, they're vetted, right? So you're probably not going to get like a whole, like 1,000 terrible leads is not better than 10 good leads. You know what I mean? Like the flat screen TV, they might not even give anything. Like they might not even care about your product. At least if you have something that aligns with your product or has to do with your business or a giveaway, you won't get as many people, but you'll get people who actually care.
Right. So what I want you guys to do is you think about that carrot. What are you dangling? So it could be, if you give us your email address, you can get a free sticker at the show. You can get 5% off your order. If you tag us on Instagram, get 10% off your order. You can give them these different things that they do to get a discount with you, or to be entered to win, like a raffle of some sort. And so you want like a clear messaging or clear sign kind of next to where they're going to sign up, just in case you're busy with another customer and they walk up and they see this thing that's like enter to win X, leave your email address, and then on there say like you're signing up for our email list by giving us your email address.
Right.
So I think go ahead.
No, I was going to say they need some incentive, right? Gone are the days where it's like, hey, can you just put your email here and get nothing and you'll just get emails from us? Sign up for a newsletter,
Right. And see, and when people walk by or they're looking at it, they're asking you a question, say, make sure to sign up for our email list. We're doing this amazing giveaway of this, because also you can have all these flashing lights around it and a huge display with signs and arrows pointing, and they still won't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to visually or audibly tell them, make sure to sign up for that. Also, if there's any transactions happening, try and capture that email address too. Like if you're doing it in person and someone's handing you cash or something, try and get their email address and say, with like I'd love to send you a coupon in the mail, and then you could purchase online if you don't buy from me in person, kind of thing.
Right.
So that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you guys go anywhere in person, if you guys can hear our voices in your head, get emails, right?
Yes. get their emails. Think of it, Jacqueline always says it's an exchange. They can't leave.
They can't come in and look at your stuff.
Yeah, they can't come in, look in your stuff, and then leave without you at least trying to ask them, "Hey, can I grab your email?" So
Yeah.
it's a conversation and an exchange.
And this is B2B or B2C, but we're right now talking to you guys about growing your general email list.
Right.
All right. So the second one, which is something that a lot of you probably already know and have subscribed to, are opt-ins. But like
Mm-hmm.
there's an email opt-in where you're offering something, that exchange, you're offering something in exchange for their email address.
Right. Totally. I mean, it's like the opt-in, that's the name of it, is that they're opting into the email list, right? That they're choosing to sign up for your email list. But there's different opt-ins. And this is where it switches up with product and service, in that it's really important for a product-based business owner to at least have tried the discount, right? Um, Sometimes it works in certain for certain products, sometimes it doesn't, but you need to at least have tried it, because the expectation of consumers these days is that there will be some sort of discount that's at least given some time of the year.
Right. So what we want you guys to think about is that opt-in. So if you have your own website, let's say you have a Shopify website and you have that box that pops up, it says, email address in exchange for 15% off your first order, and to be updated when we have new releases, or to join our VIP membership, or whatever you want it to be or feel in your brand's messaging. That opt-in, the thing that they're opting in for though, is that coupon, that 15% off, that 10% off, that 20% off your first order. And the return is that even if they enter it and it goes, thank you. And another thing that people have is, no, I don't like discounts. There's like a way to close the box that says
Uh-huh.
like, no, thanks, I don't like discounts. And it's kind of hard sometimes to press that. So that's why they will be like,
Yeah.
we're
And
going
one
to
of
do
them
like
was like,
discounts.
no, I don't like saving money.
Yeah. So you could be, if you've got a brand that's funny, or so pay attention when you guys are going into new websites, pay attention to the language that they're using in these opt-in boxes. And that's your first way of getting the email address, with an opt-in with a % off. It's
Mhm.
expected in e-commerce. We've had a lot of students that are like, I don't want to give them a discount. I think they're going to, expect discounts. Well, my friends, that's the exchange
They
initially.
already are expecting a discount, right?
Yeah. If the guy next door, probably the majority of you aren't making anything that's like so innovative that they can't go somewhere else for it. And even if you are, it's so innovative that they have to be convinced that they want it, because they have no proof that they want this in their life. So that discount is your first kind of carrot. The second way that you can do an opt-in that's like without a discount, sometimes for a product-based business, is that you can offer something informational or useful to them.
Mm.
This may or may not be in that initial opt-in that pops up on a site, but if you're selling somewhere else, like let's say you're selling on Amazon and you're selling a lunchbox kit, and you might send like a card that says like, go to here for a week full of recipes for lunches for your kids. And they will click, they'll look at that packaging insert. They'll be like, "Ooh, I want recipes for my kids." They'll type in the email, that landing page address, and then it'll be like, grab your, e-cookbook for kids for a week, enter your email here. And they'll enter their email, and then in their inbox, a digital delivery will happen. And that is in support of the product you're selling, right? It's something that your customers aligned with, that you're giving them a free digital download.
Right. So in this case, we're kind of morphing two into number three, right? Because you're talking about package inserts. This is literally the more targeted version of like seeing a magazine and referring them to a website, or them getting a direct mail piece in the mail that they get from their mailbox, and then they open it up and they're like, oh, I can go here and grab this, right? We're using the idea and we're pushing them from the package that you delivered to them. You were the one who put together that package. And then you're saying, hey, go here and you can get this really cool extra thing, right?
Right.
Of them opting into that. And
Right.
sometimes people do just do coupons again,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah. So before the packaging part, because that is number three, as Mina was saying, but before the packaging part, if you want to give another type of opt-in, so the opt-in could be join our VIP list, like Sephora has like the VIB or right? Very important beauty people. Insiders, you can have an insider. That's an opt-in, right? Be the first to know, get an extra discount on like some sort of membership thing without them paying. That's an opt-in. A second thing is like an add-on to the product or a support to the product. Or like Mina's talked about, she's had for little labels, she had a list once that was like how to pack for camp
Mhm.
because, but it might be a link on her site or like something that's like actually a blog, but it's a thing that they press on and then they have to give their email address to get that download. Or it could be something even on Pinterest where you're doing images on like free list for packing for camp and they click on it and it brings them back to your website where they have to enter their email address to get that download.
Right. And I want to preface this with it has to be enticing enough for them to want to go to a site and to put in their email address. The camping thing, they enjoyed it because it was an experience thing that they got to do with their kids, right? It's a big deal to send your kid off to camp, especially for the first time. But not all opt ins are created equal. Sometimes it's not enough for somebody to want in order for them to go to the site, type it in the URL, and put in their email address. But here's the thing, even if you get 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, it's still important to cast that net, you know, because imagine that's from probably a little bit of effort, but that could roll into more people and more people. This is a long-term play. Email is not something that's like super easy to do as far as, hey, I'm going to get a whole bunch of emails and they're all going to buy from me immediately. So this is a strategy that is a part of building your business. And so even if it is, like I said, 3 emails or 5 emails, that's awesome because typically emails they're very expensive to get a lead.
Yeah. And if you guys have never run an ad campaign before where you're actually paying for leads and you have no idea what it costs to just, like Mina says, cast that net and then convert people from actually just being a part of that net. When you guys see an ad on Instagram for like a pair of shoes and
Mhm.
then you click on it, that costs that person money to click on it, but they don't even get your email address unless you actually purchase the shoes, right? So think about all the people that might click and don't buy and like how much it costs every time for that to be visible to thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people. So, all right, so let's jump in from that classic opt-in. So you can have the opt-in on your Shopify site, for example, or the opt-in can be some sort of landing page in a way if there's like a free downloadable. Because if you're don't have a website that you're selling on specifically, but you're still trying to build your list, that might be an option. So then the next part goes through your packaging or your packaging inserts.
Right. This is kind of how we were explaining it just a bit ago, but the idea is really just to try to capture their emails because they're on perhaps a different platform, right? So if they're on Etsy and you're sending stuff out to them, or if they're on Jane and they're a flash sale, or if they're on Amazon and you're fulfilling yourself, to get a package insert in the mail within that package would be a way for you to bring them to your platform, which is your website, right? Or if you don't have a website yet, it's to your email list. And so you can have an email list without having your own website. You just have it in MailChimp or whatever else, Klaviyo. These are email service providers. But the point is that you're bringing them into your world. So you're not reliant on those other platforms to always have those people, right?
Yeah, you hear a lot of people talk about how you can't build on borrowed land. These other platforms, we call them OPPs, other people's
Mhm.
platforms, are not our own. And so if they were to shut you down, if they were to close down your store, if they were to go under, what do? Right? That was where you were selling. So if you have a way to capture email addresses to at least contain them, even if you did no marketing to them, but you had this email list, you know that if something, heaven forbid, happened to your store on another person's platform, that you could easily email them and be like, hey, we're no longer on Etsy, but come on over here. Now, Etsy, we want you guys to follow all the rules and terms and conditions of different sites like this. But sometimes people offer, like, again, we talked about like a free download, like get your free recipe card or get your 5 tips to getting your kid dressed in the morning in the packaging, let's say on Etsy, to be able to then get that person to make that click and give you their email address without pulling people away to your website to buy. Hey, friends. Okay, so did you know that the second week of June is recognized as National Email Week? I mean, how perfect is that? Because the second week of June is also my birthday. And if you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time, you know that emails, pricing and emails are my two biggest things. But National Email Week, right? And email marketing has a 42 times return on every dollar spent. Okay, so every dollar you put in, okay, again, not good at math here, but let's say for every $1 you put into your email marketing, you should get $42 back. I hope I'm right on that one. Okay. Okay. I've got my 6-year-old nodding at me that I'm right. Okay. So email is a vital part of all businesses, especially product business owners like yourself. But here's the big thing. Here's the thing I think that gets in all of your way before you send. One, you need a list build. But second, a lot of people say, what content do you use and how do you optimize your email marketing? So, my friends, you're in luck because we've put together a bundle of our favorite email courses specifically for you to know just what to say and how to get the best return on your investment, right? How do we get that $42 back in your pocket? Yes. Okay. So inside the email marketing bundle, you're going to get 101 email marketing campaigns and subject lines. You don't have to come up with these subject lines and campaigns yourself. We're giving them to you and it's plug and play and you can choose which holidays you're going to send them for. We're also going to give you 24 tested and easy ways to grow your email list because I know you all could be doing better at growing your email list. Also, you're going to get email templates and swipe files. So you don't have to come up with this all on your own. We're going to put that in there for you that you're going to get email templates and swipe files, as well as a bunch of done for you emails. All right. This is a bundle we've never offered before. So happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. I want you to build your email list and send the emails. So we know your time is valuable, but we also know how important email marketing is, if you can tell from my excitement here. And so we want to help you save time, make money, start building that list, start sending the emails, no excuses. Let's do this. Okay. So we put all of these together, never before in this bundle. You can get it right now if you click the link in the show notes or head to theproductboss.com/email bundle. Again, theproductboss.com/email bundle to get started today. No excuses for my birthday present. Can you all send an email for me and make some money in the emails, right? Forget social media. Let's do it through our emails. Again, it's theproductboss.com/email bundle. I cannot wait to see you inside. We're so excited to get this to you. All right, friends. Thanks so much.
Right. And this is really the idea of the insert, right? Because I know inserts are actually okay with Etsy. So if you're fulfilling those orders, you should not be emailing them and saying, hey, come over to my website. You can have a footer, at least from what I understand, in your description that says, hey, sign up here. And it's just a link. You can't actually say, come over here as far as like emailing them individually. You can't just take their email, but you can have an insert. An insert is okay. And that's the package insert that's delivered to them. And they have the choice of whether or not they want to go to your website or not.
Right. And so then here's my question really quick about the footer is can they say, join my email list to get, 10% off your next Etsy order?
I know they can say, join my email list. I don't know about the 10% off, though I have seen people do it. And then there's the option to click. The whole reason is because then they have the option of whether or not they want to click, right? Whereas like Etsy doesn't want you to be the one taking action and emailing them without approval,
Right. So that's just another way to gain a list because I know a lot of you do sell on Etsy, for example, and that's a way to offer a coupon even for them to buy again on the platform. Because I know a lot of you, we have a couple students that we work with that are multi-million-dollar businesses that only sell on Etsy. So we're not saying that you ever have to go off of it, but your list is yours. So figure out your way to do it. And one of those ways is through packaging.
Right. But stay on Etsy. Absolutely stay on Etsy.
Yeah.
That whole saying of don't build on somebody else's land, definitely build on somebody else's land, but build your own house too on your own land,
Yeah.
And so if anything happens to that other house on that other land, you're okay.
Put it on a trailer so you can wheel that out of there if you don't have that land. But I mean, it really is your backup, right? Because if you guys ever had the idea of wanting to sell your business, like if you wanted to be something that someone could buy out from under you, they're not going to probably buy an Etsy shop. They need to buy something that can stand on its own. So a lot of you, your long-term plan might be that you are on Etsy, but then you might be scaling part of your business to sell on other platforms, right? Like,
Mhm.
or to eventually build your own Shopify site. We have a lot of people that we work with right now that are Etsy, but they've taken like really good products and moved them to Amazon, or really good products and moved them to Wayfair, but they're not doing their entire collection or their own Shopify site. So as you're building your revenue, making sales, doing all this stuff, we still want you to gain email addresses. Because guess what? If you are on Etsy and now you're on Wayfair, you can email your whole list and say, hey, we're on Wayfair. Like, check us out.
Right.
Go buy.
It's true. And your email list is your asset.
Yes. Because we started with me saying about selling your business and they want to know what your
Yes,
assets are, and your customer list is an asset.
it is.
Right. Okay. So speaking of other people's platforms, let's move over to Instagram. Definitely not something we can control, and it's super frustrating.
Yes.
But Instagram and Facebook, but um, Instagram's another way for you guys to build your list.
Yeah. I mean, these are tools.
So exactly. So on Instagram, for example, one thing that we fully believe in as such a useful tool within the tool of Instagram is DM.
Mhm.
And if you don't have 10,000 or more followers, it's hard. You don't have the swipe up feature. There's ways that you have to get super creative. So you could do, what is it? The little question box where it's like, ask me a question, and you could post that little question box on something and be like, um, flash sale to everyone on Instagram. Give me your email address and I'll send you a 50% off coupon right now
Mhm.
in the DM.
Right.
Right. And then all of a sudden, like, you put flash sale, and anyone that follows you will give you their email address. And then you'll put that into your email list, and then you'll email them like the 50% off, or you'll DM them and email them. Candel's did that during Black Friday. They had a 30% off Black Friday, but on Instagram, they posted, anyone that posts this image and tags us, we'll send you a code in the DM for 35% off. That wasn't a way to build their list, but if I purchased, I would be on their list. That's one thing. You could also do it the other way of like, tag us and we'll email you a coupon code, and it would have been an extra step. But if you don't have a ton of followers, you can always just then go in and be like, what's your email address? Let me send you that discount.
Right. I mean, I love that because people are not going to, like, let's say you're on Facebook and you say, leave a comment with your email. They're not going to comment. And same with Instagram, leave a comment with your email. They're not going to, but the DMs are very special. Just like the Facebook Messenger, nobody gets to see those besides your own very own eyes. So you can say, what's your email? I'll send it to you. And people feel like, oh, I'm not having to put my
Put it
email
on
where
blast.
anybody, yeah, put it on blast where everybody can steal my email, basically.
um, exactly. So there's also, like, we use text magic when we're in launch for, let's say, multi-stream machine. And that's another thing that, like, you could say, like, you could even be in your bio, text da 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 for the discount. And like, you could text someone and get that email address. But I digress. The thing is that Instagram, you have these ways to engage with your customers on a personal level where they feel like it's personal. And you can ask for the email in exchange for something, right? And that exchange is usually a discount, right? Or send me your email address, and you get a gift with purchase. Something that's a freebie or an offer to them that they want to exchange.
Yeah, it's like practically like the next step back from being in person from them because you can ask them and you basically know that they are right there.
Do you guys even know that if you guys have talked to us on Instagram, please come over. Not hello at the product on Instagram. Mina and I are on there using it. We're asking you questions. We're not actually, her and I don't really collect emails on there because that's not part of our strategy, but we're on there chatting with people, leaving them voice messages, sending them videos, having so much interaction in the DM. And we're a service business, so we're coming at this from a service side. But for you guys as product people, there's some really cool ways you can do it. So just get creative and we say, take it to the DM, right? So offer something in exchange for something and collect their email addresses and plug those into your email list.
Yeah, I love the idea that you had about, hey, flash sale, send me your email and I'll send you the code right now.
Yeah. And you know where I get inspired from that actually is when Twitter first started. And I always talk about Southwest Airlines because I feel like Southwest was super innovative then. And it was a time that Twitter, and they were some of the first brands on Twitter. Now, we're not saying do this now because Twitter's kind of changed, but it was if you followed Southwest, they would have flash sales only for Twitter, and it'd be like any Twitter followers right now use code X to get X off your flight.
Mm-hmm.
So you start to create this like loyalty or this idea of like if I follow you and I'm paying attention to you, I can actually get a discount by following you specifically and engaging with you.
Yeah, and that thing, that's because with Twitter, things are happening in real time, right? Where, and then same with Instagram. There's a reason why it's called Instagram because it's instant, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like the podcast, 20 weeks later.
Well, we have a lot of people that discover us and then go back and binge listen or listen to a lot of them. So it's not always real time unless you are, subscribed and even listening for a while. You guys are, waiting for your podcasts to drop on certain days. So that's Instagram. So let's move over to Instagram's stepsister.
The
Facebook.
redheaded one.
We love redheads here. Let's just go to the stepsister.
Yes, it is because they are stepsisters. That's right. No, actually, it would be her stepmom. Because
it's her stepmom. You're right. And
yeah, because
sometimes evil
Facebook
stepmoms.
owns.
Don't turn off our ads.
Yeah. So we're going to Instagram stepmom, who is Facebook. And Facebook has really leaned into Facebook groups lately. And
Mhm.
we're really loving figuring out how to get people's emails based off of Facebook groups.
Right. So not all of you need a Facebook group. And if you're in our Facebook group, like there are big communities to manage. It's another place that you have to show up to support a community. But some of you have businesses that 100% could have a Facebook group built around it.
Right.
So,
and already do.
yeah. So what are some ideas or some product-based businesses that would have a Facebook group?
Well, if it's for them to enter, for instance, you could prompt them to put in their email address. Now, to make this all nice and whatever that thingy is legal, right? Where it's compliant, we have our whole spam policy in that question, So it's like, here's the link to it's linkable. You can have your link there. It's like www.theproductboss.com/privacy policy or something. I can't remember what ours is specifically, but we say when you put in your email, you're opting into our newsletter. You can get out at any time. We'll never spam you. Here is a direct link to our privacy policy. And it's a very long question, and it's up to them or not if they put in their email address.
So that's a way to enter a group, right? So you can have a
Right.
locked group that's discoverable, but not everyone can get in unless they answer certain
a closed
questions.
group, right? Is
a
it closed
group.
or secret?
Yeah. You don't have to
Yeah,
be
it's
secret because you
closed.
may
It's
want to be
closed.
discoverable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have to they have to answer 3 questions and usually need to be reviewed to be accepted. And one of those questions could be, what is your email address to join? But what I was asking you before you jumped into that was what kind of business could use a Facebook group? Because not everybody, like if you have a candle company, we're not telling you to go create a Facebook group because maybe it's not the thing that you have for your business. This might not be one of the ways that you build your list. But like one of our old students, like she has CBD, she sells CBD oil, and she has a group about like her business CBD, and people join because they want to know the uses of CBD. And so it's like the group is useful in discussion and support around using the CBD oil, right?
Yeah, I think the most successful businesses that do well on Facebook groups are the ones that have subcultures to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, if it's people that are really into dogs, or I know of a company that they sell bento box accessories, and there's a whole subculture that's obsessed with bento boxes, right? So they talk about recipes and lunches and what they're putting in their bento box, things that are super interesting to them. So I would say those are the best ones that have, for example, there's a lot of clean beauty that's on there. And that's super useful and has a subculture of all these people that want to get into clean beauty. Also, probably vegan people, I would guess. I don't know, just anybody really.
Right. So again, this is Facebook groups are another. We have somebody that sells they're not flash sales, but they're almost like live QVC HSN type sales. And they have a Facebook group specifically for that, that if you're in this group, then you can go live in that group and sell to them, right? I know a lot of LuLaRoe people used to do Facebook groups with videos, that they would have like a closed Facebook group, but you had access, like early access to stuff. So depending on
Right.
who your customer is and like what, like you said, that subculture or culture around it is, there might be a use for a Facebook group.
I think yours, when you're mentioning that one, is more like time sensitive, and it's like the HSN and you're showing up for them, and there's the exclusivity. Where like the one that I'm mentioning, for instance, and it's the other fold of that is the interest based, right? People that are interested in a certain thing and putting out content in a way and making it useful to them. So there's different forms of intention behind these. Yeah, LuLaRoe did really well with that because it was like, you got to be part of like quote unquote like unboxings in a way of them getting their inventory and being like, oh, I want that black opaque tight, which are like the unicorn, right? So yeah. So
Shout out to LSU, who sent me a pair of those back when I first started working with her, like 4 years ago, before I even knew what LuLaRoe was. And then I found out that those were unicorns, like the black one.
right, because all the other ones are like really patterned. So
Yeah.
that's where it's like, it is like QVC and HSN, it's time based, and you're getting those people to show up with you time and time again. And then there's the interest based ones, which are like, hey, into Harry Potter or bento boxes or I don't know, like clean skincare or all these different interests.
Yeah. And if you, okay, so there's a couple things here, right? So and Facebook is leaning into groups right now. Like that is what, if you guys watched the Super Bowl, there was a Facebook group ad. If you drive through New York City or go through the Lincoln Tunnel as you're leaving New Jersey to go to New York City, there are billboards advertising Facebook groups. So if it is something that you feel like applies to your business, Facebook's telling you that they're helping or wanting people to have groups, and that's what they're encouraging, and that's where they're seeing the trend of the platform going. So if it's something that you feel like is applicable to your business, it's another way. And remember, to that exchange, to get into the group, they need to give you their email address, but have your spam policy or your email list policy that they're choosing to opt in.
Right.
So the final way that we think is an easy way for you guys to get more email subscribers are giveaways.
Right. So giveaways are not for everybody. I will tell you that, because giveaways take a bit of work. But sometimes they like hit it out of the park for certain brands,
Mm-hmm.
So the easy way to do this is there's this one app called King Sumo. The reason why I don't like King Sumo is because it doesn't allow you to capture the first name. You can only capture the email address, but it's free. And you get a landing page and you get your giveaway, and then you promote everything you can about that giveaway on Instagram, on your Facebook group, let's say, or even on your homepage, on your website, or even in person, or whatever it is. And it allows you to give away or to promote a giveaway by having a landing page that's automatically there.
Right. So if you guys had followed us for a while, we had done a giveaway with Bump and Blends, who was on the podcast. And sometimes you'll see giveaways on Instagram that are tag us, follow us, tag someone else that you like, and be entered to win, right? And that's literally for Instagram follows and engagement. But another way to do it, even if you did do it on Instagram, because you wouldn't send the email because you're emailing the list that you're trying to grow. So you might do it on another platform, for example, like Instagram, where you do a beautiful image and you're like, this is a giveaway. Click this link or click link in bio to enter. And that would take them to this other landing page, which is what we did with Bump and Blends, where people put in their email address to be entered to win 1 week of frozen ice cubes that are smoothies ultimately. So that is a way to do a giveaway, even using a platform like Instagram, to grow your list with some sort of giveaway, which kind of cycles back to what we started with in person, with that giveaway exchange, but that was in person. So how do you take that virtual?
Right. This is totally the social version of it, right? Because you get extra entries if, they share it on Facebook or they share it on I don't know if there's an Instagram feature in the free one or not, but basically if you share it, you get more entries and it's a way to go viral in a sense. Hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, right?
Mhm.
Or it's just a way for people to share if they want to via whatever social app. And it just makes it easy.
So let's go back to what are you giving away? Well, we've all seen those giveaways that people are giving away an iPad. And you're like,
Mhm.
tag someone and enter to win. Well, everyone and their moms are going to try and win an iPad. And again, that may not be your customer. So when you're trying to build your list, guys, it's not about numbers. Sometimes Instagram sometimes feels like numbers, right? You want a lot of numbers, but your email list should be qualified people that you will convert from your list to warm leads to that will convert into customers that will then convert into returning customers. That is your whole goal with your list, not just to fill it. Because who cares? If you have 30,000 people on your list, but 29,000 of them are just, they've come because you've given away a car, not your customers. But if you have 30,000 people on your list and 29,000 of them are because you have worked really hard to build that list and that they are interested in your products, then those are your customers. And you just have to keep marketing them and selling to them.
Right. I see a bunch of giveaways for like $500 Target. You guys, everybody loves Target. You're going to get so many people, and you're probably going to get their spam email that they don't check very often. Right. So I would say just try to make it really, it's like the ones that I see have done really well. I saw this one that was like for fishing gear. And it's like so smart because they're targeting men who are into the outdoor sports, you know? And so, just try to align it with the customer that you eventually want to sell to. And that way, I mean, it's a win-win for both sides.
Right. So if you guys were like, all right, fine, I'll do it on Instagram, you could also send it to your list, even if your list is small, 25, 50 people. But what you would say in your email would be like, hey, we're doing a giveaway and we're doing this giveaway for your friends and family. Forward this email to them as well to have them enter to win X sort of thing. So if you needed or wanted to use that, also don't forget about your friends and family. Like always ask them to share stuff. They're your biggest supporters typically, or like they're the closest people to you in the circle. So also with giveaways, you can do collaborative giveaways. I know a lot of people in our community they are aligning with that they have similar customers and they might be doing a giveaway where all of them are contributing something to the giveaway and they are each posting that, right? And so when you enter your email address to win that giveaway, the whole group of them shares that email address list. So then they each can plug it into their emails.
Right. But you have to be sure that that person that opted in knew that they were opting into all those
All the
people's
lists.
email lists. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that there's some gray area in that now, whereas there wasn't before a couple years ago. Right. So I would say be careful. Know that they have to know that, like just make it in the disclaimer that's very apparent to read. Otherwise, you could just take that email list and put it into Facebook and retarget those people. It's
Right.
the opt-in part that I want to make sure that it's clear that they know that they're opting in.
Yeah. So if they go to that landing page to opt in, on there, you could say you're subscribing to be on our email list for this company, this company, this company, and this company in order
Mhm.
to win.
Right. And a lot of times it's like people will say you're subscribing and in for all the giveaway partners, you
Uh-huh.
know. And so then they're like, oh, then they see all the logos of all the partners. They know they know who they are. So
So if you start to get emails from them, you know why. So that is our way to build your list. And ultimately, I know I've said it a bunch of times, but it's the exchange. So what we want you to think about is what can you offer them in exchange for their email address? Get creative, think about it. If you're in our community, keep that discussion going, ask each other what each of you are doing because there's like thousands of product-based businesses in there. And I think that this is on your way to understanding that you need a list. And so no matter what you do when you show up, think of opportunities in which you can continue to build that. Want to hang out with us over on Instagram? We'll see you at The Product Boss on Instagram.
yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing two things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us. This episode is brought to you by the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge and Small Business Shopping Directory. It's a commitment to make 1 in 5 of your purchases from a small business online or offline. So head to shop1in5.com to take the pledge. And friend, while you are there, check out and shop from hundreds of small businesses in the Small Business Shopping Directory. It's the go-to directory to discover, support, and shop small businesses all in one place. Head to shop1in5.com.